Hey everyone, I'm your local weather authority meteorologist Zach Hatcher. We have active weather in the area. Tornado warnings now ongoing for parts of Cass County and Menard County and Mason County. We're going to break that down here. I'm going to zoom in on it and show you this warning right here. There's a tornado warning, possible tornado on the ground, so you'll want to seek shelter if you're near the Beardstown area. And I'm going to go to the computer and break down some of these radar images for you and show you exactly where this storm is moving. So as we get to our storm tracker satellite and radar, I'm going to be zooming on in here to the Beardstown area. Actually, that tornado warning is in effect for Cass, Mason, and Schuyler County. Menard not included in that warning. But this is expiring at 4:15 p.m. this afternoon. Looks like a lot of lightning and a hook echo on this storm. This is definitely a dangerous storm. I'm going to see if there's actually any rotation within this as I look at the velocity here. So this is a velocity tool. As we see, zooming on in here, there looks to be an area of rotation just northeast of Frederick, moving into Mason County. As we speak, this storm is dangerous, has the potential to really do some damage, especially if this is moving towards your area. You want to be in a safe place. You want to be in the lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors. This storm's moving northeast toward the Browning area, this area of rotation, and looks like trained storm spotters have been reporting different things with this. Emergency management of Cass County reported a tornado on the ground between Beardstown and Frederick, heading towards Browning. So if you are in this area here that I have highlighted with this scope showing you the velocity here, if you're near Frederick, Beardstown, or just northeast of that area, you want to be in a safe shelter, the lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors. It wouldn't hurt also to put on a pair of shoes, because if you get hit with a tornado, there will be broken glass and debris. So always remember to get a pair of shoes on before you go in your tornado shelter. I'll be on here until the threat passes, but as of right now, looks like this is ongoing until 4:15 for Cass, Mason, and Schuyler counties. So now we're going to look at we're going to toggle this, this radar back on here. Okay, so zooming on out, let's see where exactly this storm is going to go. Okay, we're looking at the tornado warning that's just now, this tornadic storm just now making its way into Mason County, and then next it looks like this could be actually going toward Fulton County, just east of Astoria. This is a dangerous storm. We have Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates and Meteorologist Lauren Ranson out in the field giving us ground truth from this, and Lauren Ranson reported that there was a funnel cloud over Beardstown at about 3:34 p.m. So this storm is most likely on the ground, or it was on the ground at some point. So we're going to look again at the rotation within this, see if it's strengthened. Okay, it looks like maybe it's holding its strength, or it has decreased in strength a little bit, but nonetheless, this is a dangerous storm because it is a tornado-warned storm. So heads up, if you are in Cass, Mason, or Schuyler counties, until 4:15, you're in a tornado warning, and you need to be taking this seriously. So get your family and everybody that you have around you to a safe place. Tornado shelter, if you have one. A basement is the best place in your home, of course. You don't want anybody on the second floor of your home, because that could receive more damage from a tornado than the first floor. As the winds are a little bit higher up there, there's more chance for that to be destructive. But we are going to keep looking here at the, zooming on out, and you can see what's going on. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning for McDonough County. That includes the area of Macomb. Okay, that just went tornado warned as well. Now let's look at when that warning is going to expire here for Macomb and that area. It's like a tornado was observed between Beardstown and Browning. So need to be in a safe place in case you're in that area. You don't want to be caught off guard. And train spotter reported a funnel cloud near Beardstown. So this storm possibly on the ground definitely want to be seeking shelter. Okay, that tornado warning for McDonough County, that goes until 4:15 p.m. I don't know how many of you are watching from McDonough County, but if you are, then make sure that if you know somebody there, make sure they're in a safe place. So we're going to zoom this on out here as we look at some other stuff. So we're going back to this tornado warning. This is the one I'm most concerned with because it's now moving into Fulton County. I think that this tornado warning will be extended into Fulton County here shortly if the National Weather Service sees fit for that. But really, we have a dangerous situation ongoing, a tornado watch in effect for most of our counties, except a few of our northeastern counties. But you can see right here the area of rotation on this storm just northeast of Frederick with this hook echo. That's where you tend to have the tornado form in a storm. And this has a really volatile hook echo on it. So this tornado pretty much on the ground, or it was on the ground, but treat it like it is on the ground because at one point storm spotters were saying that it was on the ground. But this is for Cass, Mason, and Schuyler counties until 4:15, a tornado warning. Get in your shelter now. There is a tornado on the ground heading toward the, it could include the Bath area if this were to take a little bit more of an eastern trajectory. But if you live just east of Astoria on Highway 24 in Fulton County, you need to be thinking about what you're going to do if this tornado warning is extended into Fulton County. It's not as of yet, but I pretty much think that this is going to go that direction. So you need to be getting in your safe place now because this rotation, very apparent on radar. And this is going to also be moving into other parts of western Mason County probably in the next 10 to 20 minutes. Let's time this on out here as we see how fast this is going. So over the next 45 minutes, some areas included here, 358 Snicarte or Snicart, that'll be on your doorstep then. 416, looks like Bath will get this storm at 4:16. Now these times may not be approximate. It depends on if the storm speeds up or slows down. So you want to give yourself an extra 5 minutes leeway time there, I guess you could say. So around Bath, 4:10 is when you can expect this storm to be running through your area. And it looks like Bath is very likely, as well as that other town, Snicarte, to get this tornado. Now I'm looking at some other things on another screen here. There is some pretty volatile rotation on this storm. Just because it's December does not mean that you can't get severe weather, and this is a great example of that. I know that it may have caught a lot of people off guard, but this is what we have to deal with today. But that's those are the two towns this is showing up. So rural western Mason County looks like is in line with this storm here. Like I said, Fulton County could be included in that if the National Weather Service sees fit for that. And let's also take a look at this tornadic storm in McDonough County, which includes Macomb. So this is in the northeastern portion of McDonough County. This storm is heading toward Bushnell, and let's time this one out here as we look at get the tool for that. So over the next 30 minutes or so, it's not showing up any towns, so it's in rural McDonough County, but heading toward the Bushnell area in the next 10 to 15 minutes. That's a safe bet here. So if you're just now joining us, we have tornadic storms ongoing with this tornado watch in effect for most of our counties. And I want to pop that watch up here so you can see which counties are involved with that as I keep talking here. But if you're in that tornadic area, then you want to be in the safest part of your home, lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors. Just to be safe, put on some shoes because you never know about any debris that could be. Okay, now we're going to go back to this tornado warning for Fulton County now. It was extended. The National Weather Service decided that was a good thing to do here. So let's zoom in on here. So for now, Fulton County, now in this tornado warning, this is going until 4:30 p.m. this afternoon. It's still in effect for parts of northern Mason and Schuyler, or northern Schuyler County and western Mason County. So if you look here, I'm going to point this out for you. The area of rotation very noticeable, covered up by lightning, but it still shows that hook echo just southwest of Astoria. It's going to be moving toward the Bath area. So if you're in the Bath area, then you need to be taking shelter now. There's a tornado possibly on the ground. Storm spotters did show reports that there was a tornado on the ground in that area, and this is the storm they were talking about. Funnel clouds also have been reported, so you want to be lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors. Put on shoes. Just because it's December does not mean we cannot get severe weather. This storm it definitely means business as it's moving into Fulton County. I know there's a lot of people in Fulton County, a very populated county, so want to be aware of that. Really, most of southern and parts of eastern Fulton County included in that tornado warning. But it's also Mason and Schuyler counties until 4:30 p.m. Dangerous, dangerous storm on the ground. Want to be sure to do what you have to do to get your family and everybody that you're with into safety. Now, this storm is moving at a pretty good clip. I'm going to see exactly how fast this one is moving here as I'm taking a look at some other screens and radars that you're not seeing here, but I'm just timing this out. So for the one for Fulton County, this storm is moving at about 35 miles per hour to the northeast. The tornado or the tornadic signature was located near Browning, or 11 miles northeast of Beardstown, moving northeast at 35 miles an hour. So I'm going to show you here with our storm cone tool exactly where this is going. So over the next hour or so, for Bluff City, 355, so that means 350 because you want to give yourself an extra 5 minutes of preparation time there. Bath, 409, so you want to be in your safe place by 404. Matanzas, you want to be in your safe place around 4:14 or so. And Kelsey, you want to be in a safe shelter by 4:22 p.m. So these are the areas that will be affected or possibly affected by this tornado on the ground. I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to zoom in closer here and show you the area of rotation on our shear view. So what this is going to show you is how the winds are moving in the storm, which direction they're going. So if you look at the reds and the greens here, notice that couplet that's kind of close together right there as the greens are touching the reds. That's where that area of rotation is. That's moving northeast at 35 miles an hour into Fulton County. And so for Fulton and Mason and Schuyler counties till 4:30 p.m., you want to be in the safest place of your home. If you don't have a safe place in your home, then try to get in a tornado shelter. If you have one, try to make the best of the situation that you're in. We'll get through this together. It's not out of the question usually for December to have weather like this, but sometimes we do skip out on it. But today, that's not the case. So that area of rotation is right there. I'll actually circle that for you so you can see here. So this is where that's the wrong tool. But right here, this is the area of rotation that's moving northeast into parts of Fulton County. The storm's very dangerous. I'm going to take a look at some reports sent in by storm spotters and the National Weather Service, and we're going to see exactly what's going on with this storm as I continue to talk to you. So Lewiston, Liverpool, Havana, you all are included in this tornado warning. You want to be making the appropriate plans to get in a safe shelter. And again, this storm, now a confirmed tornado was located over Browning or 10 miles northeast of Beardstown, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour now, so it did slow down for just a little bit. It's unclear whether how long that's going to be the case, but it could speed up, they could slow down. Nonetheless, this is a tornado that is, according to the National Weather Service, on the ground in Schuyler County. A brief touchdown near Browning heading into Cass County. That's over the last minute. That's what just came in. So if you're just now joining us, we have active tornado warnings across the map, and we're not going to just talk about this one. We're going to zooming on over to this other one here in McDonough County because this one is on the move as well. Macomb, you are included in this. Bushnell, you are included in this. In McDonough County, that warning will expire at 4:15 p.m. unless the National Weather Service decides to extend it. But the one that looks more dangerous and volatile on radar is this confirmed tornado. And I'm going to show you exactly what areas will be affected by this over the next 45 minutes or so. So, Bluff City, 3:59. That means about 3:55 that tornado will be on your doorstep. Matanzas, around 4:15, you'll want to be thinking about getting into the lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors. Kelsey, about 4:25, this confirmed tornado will be in your neighborhood. So you don't want to try to see this tornado because that's when things become dangerous. You want to just take our word for it and get in a safe place of your home. I'm going to show you the area where I believe there's some rotation in this yet again as we take this scope out here. So there could be some strengthening. I want to point this out for everybody. So for this tornado warning heading into this storm moving into Fulton County, this is your area of rotation where these greens, these bright greens, are touching the bright reds. That's when the winds are going in opposite directions of each other. That's when you get the rotation involved with that. That's why there's a confirmed tornado on the ground according to storm spotters and the National Weather Service. And we have Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates and Meteorologist Lauren Ranson. I believe that they're on this storm. I could be wrong, but they were in this general area giving us some ground truth from that. And Meteorologist Lauren Ranson actually said there was a funnel cloud over the Beardstown area, and I think it was with this particular storm in moving into Fulton County here. But if you're in Fulton, Mason, and Schuyler counties, confirmed tornado, looks like it could be strengthening, and that's not what we want to see ever. I'm going to clear off this this scope here, and I'm going to zoom back on into this other storm and zoom on out just for a minute to make sure that nothing else is happening elsewhere, and we look like we're good in other parts of central Illinois. But this storm in McDonough County moving into Bushnell, this is a potentially very dangerous storm. Could be a tornado on the ground. I'm going to see if there's any rotation with that, and very likely rotation near, if I get this right, just heading into Bushnell. Okay, that storm's probably increasing in strength as well. Doesn't look like there's a tornado on the ground with that one, but let me check my reports and see if anything came in over McDonough County. I don't think that this is probably okay. A local storm report from the National Weather Service says there's a tornado of about around 10 minutes ago at least, relayed by a spotter in McDonough County. So this either is or was a tornado on the ground. These things pop up. Sometimes they really catch you off guard, and the report is not seen by everybody on time, and it causes trouble. That's why we're on here pointing out the tornado warnings and where the danger exists for these storms. So I'm going to zoom this back on out here and take that off. And then let's go back to Fulton County. So Lewiston, Liverpool, Havana, now looking at this tornado on your doorstep. This thing is moving at about 30 miles an hour to the east, unless it's slowed down, but I think it's going about that quick. So let's take it all the way here to the edge of the warning box. So 4:06, it'll be in Curtin. So about 4 o'clock, it'll be just about 5 minutes, it'll be in Curtin. And by 4:25, it'll be in Havana. And this storm, very dangerous, could have debris in the air, and I actually do want to see if there's a debris ball in this. We have a tool that will show us if there is any debris being lofted in the air. And I want to pull that up here. Just give me a second as we see about that. So here's this correlation coefficient. It tells us if there's anything unusual going on in the air other than rain or dust particles or anything. And it looks like there could be a tornado here in this dark blue shaded spot or box right here. That could indicate a tornado on the ground as well. So we have ground truth and we have radar truth for this storm, just now crossing into Fulton County. The worst of it missed Astoria, but it's heading toward the Bath area now. Looks like this is still a tornado on the ground, lofting debris into the air. You want to treat this like it'll actually make it to any of the locations I just showed you. You never know when these things will pop up or dissipate. This one is holding its strength, though, and I'm particularly worried about this one. I'm looking at some more spotter reports that have come in here. Looks like a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Bardolph or near Macomb, moving northeast at 20 miles per hour. This was from a media report. So we're going to be looking at that one next. Let's see here as I clear that off and we go over to McDonough County. So this one, very dangerous. Okay, and all right, here's our newest one. We have a tornado warning for Knox and Peoria County until 4:45 this afternoon. So that's another 20 minutes or so, but it could easily be extended. This storm, very dangerous. Possible tornado on the ground for Knox and Peoria County. Here it is right here in this big tornado warned box, moving near the Elmwood area, moving northeast toward Brimfield on Interstate 74. So if you happen to be on Interstate 74 or you know somebody on Interstate 74 between Kickapoo and Galesburg, you want to tell them to get off the interstate because a dangerous storm, possible tornado, is about to cross Interstate 74, Brimfield. You are in this tornado warning box, so you want to be seeking shelter. Get in the lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors, particularly a basement. If you have one, tornado shelter, obviously the best thing you can get in, but put on some shoes. There could be broken glass or other debris in the, on the floor, so you'll want to be sure not to cut your feet. Always remember to put on shoes before you seek shelter during a tornado warning. It's not always something that you think about. You're in a panic mode, so you want to just run to a shelter, but always putting on shoes is a good bet, because if there is a tornado, then that will make it a lot better on your feet when you come out of your shelter. So Brimfield, Elmwood, Williamsfield, in Peoria County, Knox County, we're going to zoom in here and see exactly where this storm's going. And so we're going to take it on to the northeast here for about 45 minutes. So by 3:55, or about, about 4:02 Elmwood, so this is approaching you immediately. The worst part of this tornadic storm is on Elmwood's doorstep right now. Brimfield, it'll be heading your way in about 10 to 12 minutes by 4:15 or so. And Monica, 4:38, so you want to give yourself an extra 5 minutes. 4:34 p.m. for Monica, and about 4:40 p.m. or so for Princeville, because this storm is heading your direction as well. You're not actually included in this warning, but you are on the fringe of it, and it will easily be extended if the National Weather Service decides to do so. So a lot going on, a lot to cover here. If you're just joining us, we have several tornado warnings ongoing. And I want to be sure to try to cover all these as best as I possibly can here. So we're going to look back. We're going to zoom this on out. I want to show you how many we have here on the map. So we have about 4 or 5. And we're going to go back here to the Fulton County storm in Mason and Schuyler County. This one was on the ground, actually, and could still be on the ground. I'm going to look at the velocity within this and see exactly. Okay, so this does not look good. This is not what I want to see at all. The velocity in this, so the shear, the turning of the winds with height, and the opposing wind directions within this basically show up as green and bright reds close together. That's our velocity couplet. That one is very strong, and that's definitely a funnel cloud, if I had to guess, or still a tornado on the ground. I'm going to check some reports and see exactly the current situation on this one. Looks like a tornado was located over, or a storm possibly producing a tornado was located over Yates City or 13 miles north of Canton, moving north at 30 miles per hour. So this is This is really becoming a dangerous situation across the map here. I'm going to take this one on a little bit closer. I'm going to point out where I believe this storm is and show you where it's heading next here. So here's our storm cone over the next 45 minutes or so. So by 4 o'clock, or actually 4:06, Curtin will be experiencing this storm, and by 4:29 or maybe 4:25, given a 5-minute time range there, it'll be near Havana. So here's our area of rotation. This is a very strong storm because these greens and these reds are very bright. They're very close to each other. That's our opposing winds, which causes the turning of with the rotational winds of the tornado, and that's what I'm seeing here. This is actually on the ground still, according to storm reports in the National Weather Service, heading toward Curtin. So if you are in the Curtin area, you need to be seeking shelter now. This is a very violent storm moving toward your area. So be in the lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors until the danger passes. That's not going to be until 4:15. I think that this warning is going to be extended, though, because this storm is showing signs of strengthening. It's not letting up at all as it moves northeast. It's moving at about 30 miles per hour. Very dangerous situation for central Illinois. Tornado watch is in effect, and I want to show you that there's so many warnings it's hard to get away from that, but I'm going to try to pull that up here. But that area of rotation, like I pointed out, it's holding its strength, and it just doesn't look good here. Let's see if I can check out. Okay, that's the wrong thing here. Okay, I'm going to go back to radar. Apologize as I go through some graphics here. Okay, but 4 or 5 tornado warnings. They're so clustered together it's hard to count them all. But about 4, maybe 5 on the radar right now. We're going to zoom in on the one in Peoria County and Knox County again. So this one for 4:45 p.m. Looks like that probably got extended. Looking at the velocity couplet in this, okay, so I want to show you where the velocity is in this one as we take this on out here. So just coming into Elmwood and about to cross I-74 toward the Brimfield area, this is our possible tornado on the ground. This area of green touching this area of bright red, that's where I'm thinking the storm is. It's going to cross I-74 in about 10 to 12 minutes, maybe less if it speeds up, but a very dangerous storm, possible tornado on the ground. There's been many media reports and local storm reports, National Weather Service reports saying that these storms have been producing either tornadoes or funnel clouds. So this is really not the situation that we want to be in at all, and it catches people off guard for December. But it can happen, and today it's happening. So we'll get through this together. Okay, another person on the National Weather Service message board says that there was a tornado on the ground north of Beardstown. So I think that was the one that we were on a minute ago. But I'm going to take this one off here, and I'm going to bring this on out of the warning box. Monica, this storm will be heading toward your area around 4:32 p.m. Princeville, this will be on your doorstep by 4:40 p.m. It says 4:46, but you got to have that extra 5 minutes of wiggle time in order to make your plans and make sure that you get in a safe shelter. Now, you want to be in the lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors. Like I said, put on some shoes, because if a tornado does hit your home, there'll be glass and debris everywhere, and you want to make sure that your feet don't get cut, so put on some shoes. But this storm moving, okay, Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates has he's on a storm with a funnel cloud right now, so we're going to get him patched in here. He's going to tell us what he's seeing. Okay, well, we're working on getting that, but this storm moving to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour, it will be on Princeville's doorstep in about 10 minutes or less. this tornado warning for Knox and Peoria County until 4:45 p.m. If you are in western Peoria County or eastern Knox County, you're most likely in this storm. Can't pinpoint every single town, but what I'll do is I'll zoom in here because that'll help us out a little bit to give some more towns on the map. So looks like Williamsville, Laura, you all are included in this. Monica, Princeville, Brimfield will either get the worst part of this or just barely miss, but nonetheless this could actually go over Brimfield as it's about to cross I-74. This is not a good situation, and I'm going to look at we're going to see where the area of rotation is with this here as I take my velocity scope. Okay, so our storm, our tornadic, our rotation in this is just to the west of Elmwood. Looks like it might be losing strength. I'm hoping so. It could strengthen again, though. And there could still be a tornado on the ground. We'd need some ground truth for that, but treat it like there's still a tornado on the ground heading toward Brimsfield, about to cross I-74 into Peoria County. The worst part of this storm is about to cross into Peoria County around the I-74 corridor. So these storms are not letting up. There's a lot going on with these, and I'm going to zoom it on out here and show you how many we have. And there's a tornado watch in effect for most of our counties here, but even if you're just on the edge of the watch, you want to treat it like you're in the watch, because these things are firing up, they're holding their strength, and they're not letting go. There's a lot of warnings here. So we covered the Knox and Peoria warning. We're going to go to this one here for tornado warnings still in effect for 4:30 for Fulton, Mason, and Schuyler counties. The area rotation on this one is covered up by lightning, so many lightning strikes, and you don't want to try to see this. You don't want to try to take a picture of it. You just want to get in your safe place, the safest place of your home, or a tornado shelter if you can. These things are fast. These storms will roll up on you quickly, and sometimes without warning, unless you know that they're coming, which that's why I'm on here, letting everybody know the danger and how fast they're moving and what areas are going to be impacted. Liverpool, you could see this storm here shortly, and Havana could barely miss it, but you're still included in the tornado warning. So treat it like a tornado is heading straight for your home. I'm going to look at some more reports here, and we have Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates out in the field tracking and give us some ground truth about these storms, along with meteorologist Lauren Branson. They are both working hard and giving their due diligence to keep us updated on some of these. And I haven't had a report from them in a little while, but they're keeping track of these out in the field. And I think we're going to try to get one of them patched in here for a report in a little bit. I think we're working on that. But Knox County, Peoria County, if you are in northwest Peoria County, okay, this tornado warning now just took a little bit of a turn here. They trimmed it back a little bit. Elmwood, you're now on the edge of this, so the danger is past Elmwood. Brimfield, now looking at this storm head on. Williamsfield, you're in the tornado warning. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here. So here's I-74, here's Brimfield, and here's the worst part of this storm from what's showing up on radar. So there's that area of rotation that I'm seeing about to cross I-74. If you know anybody who's driving anywhere from Brimfield to just east of Galesburg, that's not a good place right now to be driving. So you want to tell them to, if they can, just seek shelter somewhere, not under an overpass, because that can further amplify the effect of the tornado, and that's not a place you want to be. So do not get under an overpass. If you know somebody who's driving, just avoid those. So that's our area of rotation just north of Elmwood, heading northeast to Brimfield. And I'm going to see if this storm has slowed down a little bit as I check some other stuff here. Just bear with me. The the one that I showed you over in Fulton County, that one is not looking good. Looks like that tornado might still be holding its strength. I'm going to zoom in here and see if I can take this off. Okay. So let's see if there's still... Okay, so right here, this is our area of rotation just north of Curtin. And I'm going to track this out for us, see exactly. So it's moving northeast. And in the next 45 minutes, Chautauqua Park around 4:30 and around 4:45 in Liverpool. This looks like possibly a tornado on the ground. As of last check on these reports, looks like the National Weather Service says there's a storm possibly producing a tornado over Yates City or 17 miles north of Canton, moving north at 25 miles per hour. So let's look at that storm. There's a lot to cover here, and it's hard to get all these covered at the same time, so we have to go in order. So this storm, where is it at? This is a dangerous storm in northwestern Peoria County and eastern parts of Knox County. Let's look at where the area of rotation is here in this one. Well, let's see if there's a debris ball in this one. So we have a tool that shows us if there's any debris lofted in the air. I'm not really seeing that on this one, which is good. Now let's check the other one in Fulton County. I think that there was a debris ball on this one. Okay, yeah, right here, just north of Curtin, this is our debris ball. So I want to show you what that means exactly. So just north of Curtin, there's this area of blue. It's kind of isolated. That's not what we want to see. That means that there could be debris in the air. So right there could be a tornado still on the ground, lofting debris into the air. It could be destroying homes. It could be going through neighborhoods and just throwing different pieces of debris in the air. Could be 2x4s or could be anything. But this is a very dangerous storm that's going to be moving toward Lewiston and Liverpool and just nearing Havana. So you want to take that seriously. Get in the lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors. Put on some shoes. If you have a tornado shelter, be sure to get into that if you can safely do so. If you don't have enough time to do that, just seek shelter in your home in the safest place possible. Yes, it's December, and you wouldn't think we'd have so many tornado warnings on the board, but it happens. It's happening today, and looks like we, okay. So we're going to take this off here and going to take this one back to Peoria County. So if you're in the northwestern corner of Peoria County, in the Brimfield area, very dangerous storm moving into your area. It looks like we had problems here with our radar. I'm not sure exactly what went on with that. But we'll zoom back into Havana here because that storm is still showing up. Want to look at the rotation within this storm. Okay, that's not, that's a very dangerous, very volatile tornado. This right here is the couplet, our velocity couplet, and that's where you have the tornado on the ground heading northeast to the Waterford area. Could go just south of Waterford, but it's heading just now over Highway 136. Okay, so I'm just now being told that we have Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates. He's going to give us a live report from the field. Chris, whenever you're ready.
You know what? We are just south of Havana. We had a very large tornado on the ground about 5 minutes ago to the southwest of Havana. It appears that that tornado has lifted, but we have a very large wall cloud still defined. Current view is obstructed by trees at the moment. But the way it is looking is that the tornado is off the ground for now. It was a very large cone-shaped tornado, very large wall cloud and base. We're in the process of trying to post some of these pictures that we got to social media. Right now, as I look to my left, I am driving north on, I believe, 78? Yeah, with Lauren Rainson, just on 78 and looking off just now to my left. I am just south of Havana. Looking west. Looking west, I can see northwest a very large, it looks to be a wall cloud, possible funnel cloud, but no defined rotation on the ground. But it doesn't mean that it's not on the ground at this moment. I've just got my view is obscured by trees. If this tornado or if this funnel were to retouch down, it would likely be another very large one, and it could very well be in the stage of cycling. This, whoops, we're starting to try to get past some of these trees here. Again, just to the west of Havana is where the funnel is located. Wall cloud is quite large. We had a very large tornado on the ground a few minutes ago. Emergency crews shutting down roadways between Bath and Havana. That's where that tornado warning in southern Fulton County. That's until I can I'm trying to get clear of some of the trees here to see if we can get another view of the base of the storm. But Zach, you might notice some of the pictures from Lauren popping up on the social feed on Twitter. So if you want to try to grab it, and we still got a well-defined funnel cloud. It's a large cone-shaped funnel. It does not appear to be in contact with the ground as it is now just west of Havana. We're in the process. Looking at my radar, Zach, I'm sure you see it too. We still got a very tight couplet, so we're just trying to get a better view of the tornado itself. Our view is currently obscured by trees, so it's hard to tell if it's still on the ground.
Chris, can you hear me?
Keep talking.
Chris, are you there? Okay. 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 So, monitoring some very dangerous storms across central Illinois, tornado warnings in effect for several counties. And I'm going to try to show you something else here with this radar just a little bit. So here's the area of rotation just to the southwest of Waterford, and this is as Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates says, this is a storm you definitely want to take serious. Still on the ground and could possibly stay on the ground for a little while as it's moving to the northeast. And take this back on out here. Take this off. Okay. We're going to go back to the Peoria County storm. So Brimfield, this storm's moving into the Princeville area, Williamsfield, and very dangerous storm on the ground. This tornado warning is going until 4:45 p.m. So it still has about 25 more minutes. And just because it's December doesn't mean we can't get tornado warnings. We're dealing with that today. And it could continue on for several more hours because there's a tornado watch in effect until 7 p.m. tonight for most of our counties. So you'll want to keep an eye on the radar as these horrible storms kind of come through here and try to cause damage. But let's look at the bigger view here on the radar. So several tornado warnings still ongoing. McDonough County, this is now in the northeastern portion of the county, still for the Bushnell and Avon areas. Greenbush, not included in that. But McDonough is in this tornado warning until 4:30 p.m., so another 8 minutes. This also includes Warren County. So if you're in this warning, any of these warnings, be sure to take shelter in the lowest level of your home, away from windows, walls, and doors. And just be sure to get some shoes on, because there could be some debris lofted in the air with these storms. So you'll want to make sure that your feet do not get cut from any debris. If a tornado comes to your neighborhood, then that's the safest thing you can do. But let's zoom this on out here and take a look at this Knox-Peoria County storm again. So the area of rotation in this is just to the west of Williamsville. And I think that we're going to take just a quick break here as I go through some more graphics and get some stuff booted up. And we'll be back on shortly with more coverage.